So, well, people ask, well, what is your book all about? What is this Beyond the Fountain of Youth all about? Well, it's a encapsulation, if you will, of the last 20 plus years of my life practicing as a sports medicine and regenerative medicine specialist. And 22 years ago, it was, as I talk about in the beginning of my book, one of my sports medicine buddies, Dr. Bob Goldman, founded the American Academy of Anti-Aging and Regenerative Medicine, which I joke about because at the time, this was like in 1989, I heard about it. I thought he had lost his mind. But about 10 years later, as I ended up at an anti-aging convention in Las Vegas in the year 2000, it sounded interesting to me. At that time, I was a 50-year-old aging athlete, former high school and college ski racer. And I said, why wouldn't I feel pretty good? But let's see what this is all about. And so as I started to experience that, then it made sense to share that with my patients. Why wouldn't I? We're in sports medicine, we're always striving, food, nutrition, exercise, what you can do to take advantage of the latest techniques and or to utilize everything that's available to be your best. And so that's always been my goal, is to help people and to live better. And now the goal is to help them live better longer. Well, how do we do that? Well, it's actually very simple. The concept made sense to me. I call it baking the cake. The foundation is all about hormone balance. And I talk about that in my book in a very conversational way, so it shouldn't fly over your head when you read it. It all makes sense. We start restoring for men and women because we all lose hormones starting at about age 30 and 1 to 3% a year. So in 5 years, 10 years, you could be off a little or a lot. And with plastic water bottles, with microplastics in everything from foods to the water we drink, to the toxicity of some of the foods if they're not organic, with glyphosate and herbicides, there's a bombardment, particularly for men, but a bombardment of negative factors for hormone production. When I started doing this 22 years ago, hormone therapy, my average patient was in their 50s. And then as time went on, the next decade, 40 to 45. Right now, I have 4 men and women in their 30s, for women a decade before menopause, that are suffering, they're tired, they have PMS symptoms. Why? They don't have enough testosterone, muscle mass, body composition, mental focus, poor sleep as progesterone drops, sometimes after childbirth, and sometimes it just happens. And early on, we find that using small amounts of hormones for men and women, testosterone, DHEA, human growth hormone, peptides to increase growth hormone production. There's many things that we do. It's all based on laboratory data, on seeing where things are, and then restoring your blood, your hormones to optimal levels where you are and where you were in your 20s, 20 to 25. So the upper limits of normal, not, super levels or anything that, we might see someone who abuses drugs or medications in the gym setting for a particular goal. That's never safe and never smart. And I don't work with those people. It's a matter of let's optimize everything to where you were in your 20s. And whether you're 30, 40, 50 and beyond, my oldest patient right now is 85. It's a guy that's been with me 13 years and he still feels pretty darn good. And I take some credit for that. I think that as we keep our hormones in a good range, the vitality and energy that we're able to experience, it's second to none. I mean, it's a big deal. I see people at an early age that come in. I commonly see this happen this last week. I saw the fiance last week and the new wife to be came in Monday because why? He got home and he was so excited. She's like, I want some of that. And then as we talked and looked at labs and looked at everything she needed, nutritional supplements, vitamins, some progesterone, testosterone, and she's 15 years at least away from menopause, but can't lose weight, doesn't feel good, doesn't get the results in the gym that they have. And so it's a big deal. And as I talk about it, we want to help people live better, longer, and it's simple. That's the foundation. Are there other things we can do? Absolutely. We do high dose ozone therapy, blood purification, which what we call EBO2 therapy, where the blood actually passes through a dialysis filter, removing microplastics, mycotoxins, heavy metals, inflammatory proteins, fats. And so the result of that treatment alone is rejuvenating. And so, there are a lot of things that we can do that I talk about in the book, and there's 19 chapters. So there's something there for everyone. Red light therapy is something new that we've added. And, it's important to understand the difference because there's some really good machines out there. I am on the advisory board for Lumiere's. I love their machines because they're adjustable from 450, 650, or 850 nanometers. And you need different settings. For aesthetics is one, for deeper relaxation or inflammation. Pain management is another, to stimulate collagen in your face, to growing hair. And so not all devices are like that. Some you might find cheap on Amazon are just red LED lights. They're basically not going to do much for you. So it's important that you do investigate that should you go into it. But I just mention it because, I talk about it in the book. There are many therapies, many things we do for our immediate health, like vitamin infusions, glutathione, supplementing NAD. We do NAD infusions. I have on our website an NAD, real NAD plus sublingual lozenge that you can take daily. I have clients that do an injection, sub-Q injection of NAD, about 100 milligrams three times a week. They feel great. So really, there's a lot that we can do. And I always tell people, just become a student, become a student of it. The internet is a scary place, but if you search for the benefits, and then you don't hear all the haters out there as far as other things. But, this is safe. We've been doing it a long time. There's a lot of data to show that it's cancer protective, not causing cancer. And that's the number one concern. Oh, you're on hormones, you're going to have cancer. Well, we know that's not true. Your risk is actually lower on natural bioidentical hormones, men and women, whether it's prostate, breast, or uterus. And so, we can go as deep as someone wants, but I think is exciting that, the information's out there, and I tried to put it together in a way that anybody can read about it and say, hey, I like this, and this, but that one's not for me. So, again, I just encourage you to go to Amazon, pick up a copy, Beyond the Fountain of Youth, click on Beyond the Fountain of Youth podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple TV, and share that with your friends, because I love doing this. We have a lot of topics and a lot of fun things that we address from time to time to really help you improve the quality of your life and stick around longer.